Another guest in studio. Please do the introductions.
No stranger to the John and Steve Show, Mr. Sean Rooney. How are you, sir?
Good morning, fellas. I'm barely awake. You?
It is early.
You have a hard time getting out of bed early, don't you?
Yeah. Well, it's every day just getting out, and it's tough. I don't know how you guys do it, getting out so early, but
you get used to it. You do.
Yeah.
I was up at 5 to 2 this morning because I couldn't sleep.
I think that's close to when I got to bed.
Well, we talked to you, let's go back a month or two now, because you're taking part in a fundraiser called Extra Life, which is basically you play video games for 24 hours, correct?
Yeah, video games, any kind of games. Just to be clear, you don't have to play video games for it, and we're looking for anybody to join. You play video games, board games. We played pool and darts last year. You can play basketball if you want. Doesn't matter. Whatever gets you through the 24 hours and raise money to help kids.
All the funds raised go to Alberta Children's Hospitals, correct?
That's right. Actually, you can choose, if you go to extra-life.org, you can pick actually whoever you want the money to go to. You can choose there's 170 children's hospitals in North America. So, of course, I picked the one, Alberta Children's Hospital. That's where, if you're like a Medicine Hat kid, that's where your kids are going to get sent.
Okay,
Right.
Obviously near and dear to your heart because of your young son, Dominic. Just give us an update as to his condition and what's going on.
Yeah, so if folks weren't aware, that basically he was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia last September the 12th, just before his first birthday. He just celebrated his second birthday this past Sunday, and basically in that past year, it's just been insane. He turned out he's got a super rare subtype of AML. He relapsed. He's had a bone marrow transplant. So at this point in time, we're just sort of going through a second set of chemotherapy and treatment to try to figure it out once for all. But it's been difficult. It's been really, really hard.
I imagine so. So is it a situation where you have to kind of sit back and there's not much you can do?
Yeah. That's a good way to put it, just because when you're in this kind of situation, you kind of have to put your trust and your faith in the doctors, right? I mean, they're doing everything they can. They're much more qualified than me. Yeah. So I let them do what they can. And so that's why I'm doing Extra Life, because that's kind of what I can do. That's where I can put my efforts, right? And sort of try to give back a bit and sort of try to contribute in a way.
I just want to give your blog a plug because that way people can go on there and they can see the whole story from September 12th of last year when Dominic was admitted to hospital to where you are now. And you're just keeping it updated all the time. You'll learn more about that and in Extra Life fundraiser that's coming up.
Yeah, I've actually just recently added links, added mini stories on the page about Extra Life, about his general story, because if you really want to read it, it's going to take you days at this point. I've written, I think, 104 posts in the past year. So I did a summary post just so that people, I understand people's time is precious. So, but yeah, it's been a heck of a long journey. And so it's great. You can go to dominicaml.blogspot.ca, or you can just Google Dominic AML. It comes up as the first hit these days. There's been a lot of people who know about our story.
And what did you tell us when you came in here about being number 6 in the world? Yeah,
so Extra Life they've got more than 35,000 gamers signed up to do it October 25th. And by the way, you don't have to do it October 25th. You do it whenever day you want. But they've got 35,000 people signed up. On the tally of the people who've raised the most money, I'm currently number 7. I've raised almost $6,000 so far, which I got to be honest, I never expected to do that well with it. Last year I raised $4,315, and so this year, once I got to that amount, I said, okay, if we can even reach that amount again, I'll shave my goatee off.
Which you've done.
Which I've done. Yes. I've only done it twice, I think, in the past 15, 20 years.
Oh, really?
The only other time I did it for Halloween 3 years ago, I went as Peter Griffin. I was pretty convincing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this makes sense. That's why you look a little more baby-faced to me this morning.
Yeah. It takes about 15 years off.
It really does.
So probably the best thing, because a lot of people like to get together, play even cards.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Just a game, board game, card games, video games if you want. October the 25th, play for 24 hours and go through your neighborhood, go to, kids at school, get people to throw in a few bucks and raise some money for Alberta Children's Hospitals. It's such a great thing that you're doing.
Thank you. And it bears mentioning that, obviously a lot of people know about Dominic's story. There's so many kids in Medicine Hat who go to that hospital. The young girl who was hit when there's a crosswalk there, she got lots of help there. Right. It's amazing how many kids we see in there from Medicine Hat. It just shows how valuable that facility is, even for us 300 kilometers away.
Well, and you're sort of the voice right now because you're there. You're in the media. You work at the newspaper. You come in and you see John and Steve, and we want to help you as much as we can.
And we absolutely thank you guys for that. It's invaluable to have that kind of exposure and let people know and spread the word about a really great event and a really great cause.
It truly is. Sean, thanks for coming in, and good luck with Dominic, and give him a hug when you're up there from John and Steve.
Will do. He'll send you high fives right back.
Super. All right. Thanks very much.